Hey, guess what? I got bored. I'm making a part 2. I got my fresh thing of water. Ah, man, it tastes so good. Now this one's different. I got some pineapple coconut flavored water. 0 calories, 0 sugar. Best thing in the world. Now the bad thing with it is carbonated. Unlike tea, this is carbonated, which is kind of bad for you. But if you're kicking the soft drink habit, it works great because it's busy like a soft drink, no sugar, and oh, it's wonderful. This is my go-to for staying away from soft drinks, and it works great. Now, my second part of my video. Now, like I said, I was gonna make a shorty. I started sitting there thinking, you know what? This is gonna be my goal line for 2021. We're gonna file taxes, probably end of the month. No big deal. Now, it might be June or July before we get them back with the way the government is. And like I was telling somebody else, and they're like, why would you get them back June or July? I'm like, well, if everything's running on a skeleton crew, I can imagine the IRS is on a skeleton crew as well. So, you know, it's going to be a while before we get them back in. Whenever we do get them back in. My main goal, fix the bathroom that we didn't fix last year. That's number 1. Number 2 is I'm going to remove the back porch completely, and we're going to rebuild the back porch completely. A little bit longer, a little bit wider, some modifications to it, but that's number 2. Number 3, we're going to add another section to the front porch or the front deck. And I'm not for sure if I'm going to take it this way or this way off the front of it, or I might just take it both ways on both directions, because my in-laws on New Year's Day said we're thinking of getting rid of our old swimming pool, which is huge. It's a great big ass circle one. I mean, it's huge. And it's about 5 foot deep, and which is great for me because it's deeper. Now, there's a lot more stuff we have to attend with, but it's a lot bigger, it's deeper, and it's free. And they've taken well care of it. They're just getting up at they're mid to upper 60s, and they just don't want to mess with it. They don't want to attend with it. And I understand, because once you get to a certain age, you don't want to have to constantly mess with things and deal with stuff. And it's just one less thing they have to deal with, one less thing that has to cost them money. And, you know, they're trying to get by on what they have, and I understand that. So, number 3 is going to be the decking, because we're more likely going to be getting a large pool this coming spring. And I want to be prepared for everything. Number 4. I'm going to redo my beds in my front yard, and we're going to be getting cinder blocks and making a concrete form for my raised beds, and that way they'll last a lot longer, as long as my kids don't hit them with golf clubs and everything else and bust the block up. But they'll last a lot longer than, you know, my wooden ones. And plus, I'm going to use that specialized grass mat on the bottom of them. I'm going to put 2 layers down to make sure I get the drainage that I need, but I don't get no weeds growing up from the bottom. And that's how I'm going to do them. And then now, as far as the length, if I was thinking about doing like a 10-foot section, then another 10-foot section. We're just making one great big ass long one. I'm not for sure yet how I'm going to do it. I know one of them is going to be probably a 14-footer, and then say this 14-foot, like the best 14-foot, I'm going to put a post here and a post here at the end of it, and then get one of those sections of cattle fencing and run it through the middle, and that way I have enough leeway at the ends of it, and I'm not having to, you know, pull it one way or another. And then I can grow my pole, I call them pole plants, but like my green beans, stuff like that, that grows up stuff. That way I can put those amongst that and put stringers down. They'll grow right up the top of it, and so on, so on, so on. That's one of the things I'm also going to be doing. And now I do know my roof needs some repair work. I do know that. And I'm going to see if I can do some wheeling and dealing with some of the contractor people that live around me to see if I can more or less, cut some heads on, getting some work done at half price or close to half price, or even doing some wheeling and dealing or trading or something of that nature. So that's another thing. And not only that, like I said, I have to pay part of a survey, so we get the farm divided up. And once that takes place, hold on, I got to sneeze. Something in this room will stick with my nose, driving me crazy. Now, once I get all that taken care of, whatever is left over, basically, I'm going to give the wife a good portion, because what I'm going to be doing with the portion of our tax refund is improving the house to some degree, but at the same time, it's not going to be just for me, it's going to be for everybody. But I'm going to give her a portion of what's left over, and from that portion, it's not going to be like the whole kit and caboodle. I'm going to cut it down the middle, and I'm going to give her a portion of that, and then whatever's left over, I'm going to stick into the alternate account, and that way, we'll have property tax paid for, we'll have Christmas paid for, we'll have, anything that goes bump in the middle of the night, I wouldn't say paid for, but at least a good portion will be taken care of without having to be like, well, I don't have 2 nickels to rub together because I spent my money on stupid shit. Not going to happen. So, always be prepared. Always be prepared. That's the number one thing. And I couldn't tell you how many people I know, and I've been there myself a lot of times. I'm not gonna lie. Something happens, well, we can't get it fixed because we don't have the money to fix it. I got tired of living that way a long time ago. Now, if something major happened, I'm screwed. I'm not gonna lie. But if something minor happened, I'm not too worried about it, because I got enough stuff to where I got excess side items that I can take to my local coin shop, or I can, sell it to a couple of the scrap buyers online, and I'll have, a handful of cash, at any given time, but I don't want to, because that's for later down the road, and it's like a safety net. But unless you have to use it, you don't think about it, you don't touch it, you don't even look at it. It just sits in the dark corner collecting dust, and you just kind of like mind over matter. So that's how it is. But you always have to be prepared, no matter what. And that's like my sister-in-law and her husband. They're buying a house. They're moving back up towards Frankfurt, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours from here. Why they want to move up there is beyond me. I couldn't tell you. But, they're getting 2 acres of ground with this great big house they're putting on it. And I told them, I said, they might warranty a couple of items, on your place, like with your furniture, not furniture, but like your appliance wise. They might warranty it, but it's not going to be like, well, if it tears up, we're going to give you a new one. No, it's going to be, if it tears up, we'll give you a kickback, but you're going to have to buy some new shit to replace it. And, I told them, I said, it's not going to be peaches and cream and a gravy boat. I said, y'all gonna suffer. Because what they're looking at, just for the home alone, is about $180,000. And then the property on top of it They're buying the home with the property and the home, and everything is all gonna be lumped together. And they still have to put electrical in there, and they still have to put a septic tank and get water run. A septic tank around here, I know, it might be a little different up there, but I know around here it's between $6,000 and $10,000 to put a septic tank in. So I mean, they're looking at a hefty fucking payment. And I mean, I hope that works out, but I don't see it because, well, their track record isn't really the greatest, and I hate to say it like that, but that's, it's just what it is. So, the only thing that saved my ass is when my dad, before, a little bit after my grandmother died, my grandmother left my dad a shit ton of money. I mean, a shit ton of money. And my dad said, I'm not going to buy the place for you. He said, but I will put a portion down and have you, basically what it was is, I'm going to put X amount of thousands of dollars down as part of your inheritance. He said, as part of. Not the whole thing, but as part of. And then he said, your responsibility of it is to make the payments, to take care of it, and everything else. And that's what I've been doing. Now, my place 10 years ago, with the land, everything already on it, was $54,500. That's what I got my place for. And some of y'all probably thinking, man, that's cheap. Well, 10 years ago, it was. And it still is, kind of. Now, my property value has gone up some, and even though it's a double wide on a foundation in the state of Kentucky, if I don't care, trailers might be different, but as far as a manufactured double wide or triple wide, if it's on a concrete base with a concrete wraparound on the bottom blockwise on a foundation, it's no longer considered a mobile home or a manufactured home. It's considered a house/home because it's actually on a foundation. And my place is on a foundation. And, but, it is what it is. I got a roof over my head. I don't get wet when it rains. I do have a couple little drips here and there because one of the instruments in the bathroom has a leak around the seal, which, like I said, when I have roof damage, like I was talking about, I'm going to have to fix the roof this year, so I'm going to have to get that little drip fixed. And there's other little things we're going to do, but it's going to be a project all alone to itself, and I'm going to make sure that I stay focused with my blinders on. I'm not buying no guns this year. I'm not buying no toys this year. I'm not buying everything I wanted. Actually, everything that I have wanted to play with or stuff like that, I got last year. And it did cut into my little pocketbook a little bit for excess house fixturing, but it's okay. This year, it's all about the house, and it's all about what we need. And if we don't need it, we're not going to get it. So, but save, 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 and save. Because you never know when you're going to need it. Now, I'm a firm believer in an ant and a grasshopper. For a long time I was a grasshopper, but now I'm the ant. And when you're the ant looking out amongst your circle of people that you have, and you can pick out all the grasshoppers all day long. You can see them all day long. And it's sad. It really is. And when you try and try to convince them, stop being the grasshopper, some of them were like, yeah, I know, I understand, I can see where you're coming from and everything else, but they don't fix it. They keep on being the grasshopper. So, what do? You just kind of stand back and like, well, have at it. But it never fails. It never fails. Whenever something arises, what happens? man, I gotta come up with X amount of dollars because I don't have anything. Well, if you wouldn't have been the grasshopper, you would have had something. But who are you going to say? What are you going to tell? So it is what it is. But I'm going to get off here. I'm calculating this about another 10 or 15 minute video. Maybe 20 minutes. I hope it's not more than 20 minutes, because if it is, I'm going to delete it. So y'all have a great day, and I'll see you all soon again later.